Celebrations are about recognition. Fame is like a condition, both in the sense it's like a virus or disease. Sorry, too soon. But also in the sense you've made some sort of deal, you've signed a contract, and you have to pay the price for it. You've sold your soul to a demonic sea witch in exchange for human legs, but the price is you can't talk to the person you've fallen in love with to tell them how you feel. In a way, Ariel did form a parasocial relationship with Prince Eric before they finally met, so I guess this is why I brought this up as an example, but it is pretty extreme. Maybe a better example would be how in the Harry Potter books and movies depicts the relationship between Harry Potter and the Wizarding World. The entire Wizarding World knows who Harry is, but he doesn't know who anyone is in the Wizarding World when he first enters it. I should point out that it's still okay to enjoy stories or movies that were published or written by someone who has questionable opinions, especially when it comes to modern day society. I'll just leave it at that. Another example would be in the DreamWorks movie Shark Tale, how Oscar becomes famous pretty much overnight because he tells a white lie, or should I say a great white lie, because he kills a great white shark. Never mind, the dislike button is right below. He loses control over the parasocial relationship that has built around his lie. And I know I've talked about this movie until I'm practically blue in the face, but can you blame me? There is so many examples of how parasocial relationships or interactions can be bad in the Disney Hercules movie, because Hercules confuses being famous with being a true hero. And yeah, when he does interact with people he saves, he seems to switch to some kind of performance and even changes his voice. The recognition he received as a hero was confused as what he needed to receive in order to enter Olympus. I suppose by bringing Hercules up, it's also representing where celebrity status possibly began, worshipping athletes as heroes. Or what about the 1999 science fiction comedy film Galaxy Quest, a film that not only parodies classic cult science fiction, but also the fandoms that surround these franchises, as well as how actors are often pigeonholed into the roles they played on these science fiction movies and shows, either are unable to branch out or are so wrapped up in stardom they aren't living in reality. The film also showcases the extremes fans can go to, and how obsessed and pedantic they can be over the smallest detail of a science fiction show or movie. I love how Galaxy Quest was able to capture parasocial interactions, showing both the good and the bad behaviours of fans and the actors. This is very much a one-sided relationship, or what's called a parasocial interaction, where the audience forms a psychological relationship in their mediated encounters with content creators, believing their so-called friendship to be real, thanks to repeated exposure to the persona, or even if it becomes your daily routine to watch a video of that someone posts every day, it causes the fan to develop illusions of intimacy, friendship, and identification. It's a one-sided, non-reciprocal relationship. It's a strong emotional bond with someone you've never met and who will not relate back to you, or they will be unable to, because they don't know you. The glamour and wealth that comes with success and fame, or appears to come with success and fame anyway, seems very enticing because we as a race are very materialistic. The things we have reflect our success, and success is mistaken for contentment at times, mainly because that is often what the media allows us to see, or is the only portion of their lives that celebrities present to the masses. Status is very important to the human condition because, like it or not, we do live in a hierarchical society, and we do have habits of putting people on pedestals. Might it be because of their own heritage, or because we put them there ourselves? Some people, like the Kardashians, for example, are famous just for being famous. Someone like Queen Elizabeth, though, is famous because of her heritage. When we do this, a person's unique persona is made widely known to the public by media coverage, and as a result is consumed. Entertainment is made profitable to people who exploit the public, and as a result the public get a sense that they are entitled to this consumption because they were the ones who put them there. At least in their eyes. Reputation is a form of currency now. It has been since the early 18th century, perhaps before that. Artists depend on this currency and work hard to generate fame. The term gossip column came from the literal columns of theatres where the pillars in front of these buildings became hotspot places to be seen to receive publicity and praise from admirers. Access to celebrities is controlled in order to protect the real human that is being celebrated by thousands of people who they do not know. When they do interact with fans, they often have to continue to act, and it can come across as inauthentic or superficial. But no one can perform all the time, and no fan should feel entitled to that access. In other words, if you see someone famous walking down the street, don't chase after them asking for an autograph. Leave them alone. Nowadays, internet fame is the modern contemporary of celebration and doesn't involve a physical red carpet. Social network services allow celebrities to communicate directly with fans because the middleman, or traditional media anyway, has been cut out. Social media humanizes celebrities, and that arouses the public's fascination. Social media has changed what it means to be a celebrity. So-called regular people can become rich and famous from inside their own homes. Let's Players and vloggers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye are perfect examples because they're basically filming themselves while they play a game or watch a video, and we're seeing their reaction like we are in the same space as them. It makes it impossible for celebrities to live private lives. I don't consider myself a celebrity or a big YouTuber by any means. I mean, I have been a content creator since 2013, and in 8 years of doing this, I haven't even reached 100k subs yet. I do honestly have days when I feel bitter about that because I put a lot of work into this, but I also try to remember that over 80,000 people at one point in their life thought I was worth watching and subscribing to. That is very humbling to me to remember that it's more than just a number. Fans are not only a vital support when it comes to being a YouTuber, but they are also a driving force that encourages you to keep creating. Patreon support especially allows fans to donate to give more support and to get exclusive rewards for their donations, like access to Patreon exclusive Discord servers, for example, to allow more interaction with the content creator out with the content itself. What's more, other content creators inspire and support you along the way as well, and can show you guidance on the correct way to interact with fans if they have more experience with that. I've had amazing role models to show me examples of ways to interact with fans. The interaction I have had with fans in person at conventions has been mostly positive. I will forever be grateful for that and ensure that gratitude keeps me humble. But I also want to address the fact that as much as content creators like myself want to ensure that fans are being acknowledged for that support, that I also make sure that there is a clear segregation between the me I portray online, the me I am in private, and who I let close to me. And most importantly, make it clear that Mad Munchkin is a character and not the real me. And when I am at conventions, I choose not to be in character, because we are all entitled to feel safe and secure when out in public, as well as when we're interacting with fans in a busy public setting like a convention that is built for that interaction to happen in a safe environment for both parties involved. I feel that there needs to be a clear-cut segregation of the character we are online and the real person we are when interacting with people face to face. Sadly, in my experience, I have had some fans make the mistake of treating me like the character I portray online in my own videos and on other videos as well on other YouTube channels. A perfect example would be how my character is portrayed in the TF2 Analysis Anarchy series. I personally don't consider the Maddie in that series canon to the one on my channel. Yes, some instances and moments in that series have kind of become part of videos that are featured on my channel, but I've always considered them a separate entity because it's not my project, first of all, and someone else is writing my character in that series. Don't get me wrong, I love being a part of TF2 Analysis Anarchy, but once again, it's not my project. I just voiced 2 characters on the show and have helped write some scripts. That's it. I have also seen examples of how not to interact with fans, but I've also seen how to not put up with fans pushing boundaries as well. Fans asking for autographs while someone is eating outside of a convention, for instance, or they're just walking down the street, or, you know, they're doing their weekly food shopping or something, or, you know, fans following you to the bathroom, or fans telling you their hotel room number. Yes, that actually happened. Just because you're a fan doesn't instantly mean you are a friend. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Okay, yes, some fans do become friends over time, but friendships happen organically. They should never be forced or rushed. Just because you see a famous person interacting with one other person in a more comfortable way does not mean that you can force yourself into that friendship. Celebrity status does not equal consent. Forcing your way into a friend circle you were not invited to is not okay. Ever, regardless of whether the person within that friendship circle is famous or not. When I have had to tell people to back off, for myself or indeed for other people, they often feel they are entitled to my time or their time and refuse to leave, or just fail to get the message that they shouldn't be talking to that person at that moment in time. Or when fans attempt to steal my hat while I'm wearing it. An example would be when a so-called fan thought it was funny to hit me over the head really hard, touching my hat, which my character is very protective of. This person somehow got past security and into a convention hall while we were prepping for a panel. He was escorted out of the room by a friend and fellow panelist, but honestly, the guy was lucky my fiancé wasn't there, otherwise I don't know what would have happened. Or another fan who thought it was okay to run up to me and sing Irish jigs at me while dancing as well, after I finished an hour-long panel discussing the importance of creativity back in 2018. Knowing I'm not Irish, or maybe confusing being Scottish with being Irish, I don't know. Either way, knowing that it would piss me off, especially after I did an hour-long talk, and then being miffed at why I told him to go away, or to knock it off, or just ignore him completely. I felt like he was laughing at my accent all the way through instead of absorbing what I was actually saying. Now that I think about it, that may have been the same person who hit me over the head, because this happened at the same event. Either way, this behaviour is not okay. In fact, from my perspective at the time, it was borderline xenophobic. Regardless if you're a content creator or not, no one should put up with this sort of behaviour. And I think content creators need to stop being afraid of confronting their audience. A content creator's privacy is a difficult one to explain, because many content creators film key moments in their lives to share online. My now fiancé proposed to me at a panel I was doing at a convention in 2019 in front of 600 people. Most of them were fans of my own content, as well as content I feature in that other people make. A friend filmed this moment for us on stage at this panel, and fans also filmed the moment as well and sent us their footage. For us, it was important to have fans be a part of that moment, because without YouTube and without the fans that I have, we never would have met in the first place. I also share vlogs of my experiences as a vendor at conventions and videos of me playing games with friends. I share vlogs of my setup of where I make my content, because I want to show my fans gratitude, because I wouldn't be doing any of this creative stuff without that support there. I even make video blogs on how the death of my sister affected me, because as a content creator, I feel it is important to keep that connection with my fans as authentic and open as I feel comfortable to do so. But I also make sure that the invisible line is still there. In my experience of meeting content creators or celebrities I admire, I know how nerve-wracking it can be to have the opportunity to close that gap. But I am also very aware that the person I am meeting knows nothing about me. I also remind myself, this is just another human being. Just say hi and see how it goes, right? Sadly, sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes some celebrities you admire will take you on, and other times they simply won't. And that's okay. You don't know what their day's been like. Maybe you've just approached them at the wrong time or the wrong place, like I discussed earlier. We all have avatars or representations of ourselves online now, and having the opportunity to thank someone who just happened to portray a character that you've admired in a show you grew up with, or a persona online you found entertaining and comforting, is a real privilege. The space that divides a content creator and their fans is very short now. They are literally one tweet away. So it's no wonder that the relationship between content creators and fans is such a fragile and strained one. At the same time though, there are fans that are very apprehensive and cautious about approaching people that they admire because they don't want to disturb them. and I understand that perfectly as well. I know for a fact if I ever got the opportunity to meet Kristen Chenoweth, for example, I know I would probably melt into the floor. Like I said, if you see someone that you've admired for a long time, it can be a very intimidating occasion, and that celebrity has no idea how intimidating they are at times. So sometimes you do need to have the encouragement of having a friend beside you who maybe perhaps isn't aware of who this person is, just to give you that support behind you. Having a healthy relationship, and yes, it is a relationship with people who support your content, is very important to me, but it's also something that is very difficult to keep healthy as it is still relatively new to everyday society. There's no guidebook on how these relationships work. YouTubers engage in self-presentation and, to a certain extent, in self-disclosure in order to build and maintain relationships with their viewers. Nowadays, thanks to the internet, the distance between fans and creators has never felt shorter, and keep in mind, the internet has only been around for 2 generations. Our psychological evolution has not been given enough time to adapt to this level of intense interaction and communication yet, so the relationship between content creators and their fans is still a very fragile one. It's crucial to understand that the person you meet at a convention or the person you see on YouTube is not the person they are in real life. It is a version of themselves that they present to the masses. They are in a different mode when they are in front of a camera. The real them is kept exclusively for friends and family. Celebrities used to exist behind the one-way gate of television or movie screens. Today, though, audiences can chime in on social media with questions, requests for future content, and opinions on what a creator produces. They can even watch live streams and ask them directly. Streaming and vlogging are blurring the boundaries between performance and real life, and I suppose this is why it's difficult for people to differentiate between the real person and the persona they present to the masses online. It's having an uncomfortable effect on viewers. What makes these relationships so unsettling at times is that vloggers aren't performing in the traditional sense of the word, as in it's not a theatrical performance. The whole appeal of their content is that viewers are invited into their what seems to be normal everyday life. That makes it easier for the brain to gloss over the factors that normally keep parasocial relationships from growing too strong. This is why you sometimes see people freaking out or being upset when a celebrity doesn't give them the attention they feel they are entitled to. YouTubers can be described as publicly overexposed active users who share their personal information and personal interests through video content with the rest of the users, the viewers, who remain mostly anonymous. YouTubers engage in self-presentation and, to a certain extent, in self-disclosure in order to build and maintain relationships with their viewers. However, these relationships between viewers and YouTubers are not classical social relationships, as they are not reciprocal. As for viewers, it's important to remember that divide exists and to respect it. You are not behind the curtain. You only know what you see in the video. Even if you've seen all the videos this content creator has made, you are only seeing a portion of that person that they feel comfortable to expose to the masses. You're not knowing the real life version. And again, that's not to say that it's not an authentic version, but it's just not all of that person. It's only a portion of them. It's become a YouTuber's burden to enforce boundaries. But fans would do well to also remember their favourite celebrities are still there to do a job. Anyone can be a content creator, and that is an amazing fact to state outright, and anyone can become famous now because of how social media works. But not everyone will have the same experience. Content creators are constantly comparing themselves and their experiences to others because content creators are also constantly switching between content creator mode and fan mode because they follow other content creators as well and are inspired by them to continue creating. Like I said earlier, I don't consider myself a big YouTuber whatsoever, but I do believe that as a content creator, I need to respect my audience, and with respect comes accountability. If I am made uncomfortable at any point, I should feel like my audience respects me enough to know to step away and give me space. I think every content creator deserves that, not just in a literal physical sense, but also when it comes to online interaction. Content creators are no better than anyone else. They're no different, but they are still real people who deserve to be respected. Fans are wonderful, and I will always be grateful for the following I have. but I also need to be sure that my safety, my family's safety, my friends' safety, and the content creators that I admire's safety and security is a top priority when it comes to how and when I interact with fans and the content creators I admire. I shouldn't have to make a video about this, but I felt that I needed to speak up. And after the subject was suggested to me, I felt that, yeah, this was the right time to do so. Thanks for listening, guys. I love you guys so much. I sincerely do. But I guess this was kind of a tough love subject. I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative. Oh boy, that was a difficult topic to cover. I was really worried I would sound self-serving or, that I somehow didn't respect my fans or anything. But hopefully I've come across okay. I just want to give a few shout-outs to some Patreon supporters that actually suggested this topic to me. So we have Patrick Gardner and Charlie Odin Oko. I hope I've said your names right. Thank you for suggesting this topic. So I want to give shout-outs to some of my other top Patreon supporters as well. We have Gareth Alford, Pyrodron, Rainbow Dash Fan, James the Brony, Devon T. Jering, Visky Dragon, OLD, Seeker, Sanjay DK, DELC17, Transformer Brett, Invisible Gust, CT Stormwing, CT0798, Mayan Jinx, Tristan N. Milner, Patronators, Kick-It6, Patrick Gardner, Steamworks, The Wicked Merman, Nukas Dename, Alex Hunter, Brongar, Unknown 620, Charles Meeker, Seth Richards, Aces Wild, Mystic Mind, JRog1989, Meg the Pict, Rocky Harmony, and Pedro Lopez. Thank you once again to everyone that supports me on Patreon, especially the top patrons that I just read out. If you want to support me on Patreon, there is a link in the description below so that you guys can join my Discord server, as well as a lot of other exclusive rewards for those that choose to do that. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to shut up. I never know how to end these things off. Yeah, take care, wash your hands, wear your mask, and all that other nonsense. Bye.